Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump's likeliest pathway to the presidency for re-election in the year 2020. I did a video similar to this one, actually identical to this one a couple months ago, but the results were a little bit different than what I actually think could happen today. So first of all, Donald Trump's approval ratings in certain states have either dipped or gone higher, and considering who won the states in 2016 really shaped this electoral map, and especially on the outlook for it in 2020. So first of all, in order for a Trump presidency for re-election, he would have to hold on to typical conservative states. So first of all, he's not going to win the West. That's not going to happen. Up across the United States, he would need to do pretty solid in if he wants to expand and win over some states that I think he could win that Hillary Clinton had carried in 2016. Something different about this scenario, his pathway to the presidency does not lie through the Rust Belt, and that's something that is definitely different than what most political pundits would expect, because right now the Rust Belt is turning away from the president. In the Pennsylvania 18th District special election, that showed the president that his reach has only gone so far. In the Wisconsin Supreme Court election, sure, not many people knew about it, but I think the warning signs are there. In Michigan, a few special elections are really turning the tides away from the president. But then if we look in some other states where Hillary Clinton won, I think Donald Trump has a better shot there than he does at the Rust Belt, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. So I think that Trump will do pretty well up across the South. In order for him to win re-election, he would have to carry pretty much a number of the states that he carried in 2016. He would have to carry Georgia, which probably won't be an issue for him. Arizona, the ones that are really going to be a little bit tighter for him are states like Florida, which have shown a little bit more Democratic tendencies after everything that's happened. But, you should expect it to level out back to a swing state come 2020. But Donald Trump would need to carry the state in order to win re-election. Also included a must-win for Donald Trump is the state of North Carolina. Without it, if he doesn't win in North Carolina, he's probably not winning in Florida. He's probably not winning across the Rust Belt. But again, this particular video does not talk about the Rust Belt so much. So, first of all, Colorado and New Mexico, I probably see going to almost every single Democratic candidate in 2020, along with the state of Virginia. I mean, it's shown more Democratic growth in previous election years, and we just see it going to the Democrats, even in a wave year for Donald Trump like 2016 was. So 209 electoral votes for the Democrats, 235 for Donald Trump. So in order for him to win re-election, he would need to carry Ohio and Iowa, which probably shouldn't be a problem. If he wins down here, he's probably winning up in Ohio and Iowa, considering these states voted for Donald Trump more than a number of other presumably safe Republican states. Like the state of Iowa voted for Donald Trump more than the state of Texas did, although Iowa went to Barack Obama in 2012 and Mitt Romney had carried Texas by over 10%. So the drastic swing and the drastic change in demographics definitely did play an impact on the 2016 election, but it's probably not going to be as bold until we reach the 2024 election, which I did a video on that. If you want to go watch it, it's probably in the suggested. But so we're going to go into where Donald Trump can expand. So first of all, he is probably going to carry Maine's 2nd district. That's probably a given. His appeal to them hasn't really lost, and he hasn't really lost touch with these type of voters because he's gone time and time again talking about them, talking to them, and just appealing to them in general, and I don't think he'll fail to do that in 2020. Now we're going to talk about the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt at this point in time, I see completely turning away from the president. And that's not good news. I mean, he barely won in all 3 of these states. He didn't carry Minnesota. He probably won't carry Minnesota. And the fact that these 3 states have were the smallest margin amongst any other swing states in the United States, it's really not good news. In the Trump winning swing states, and it's not good news for him whatsoever. His approval rating in these states is in the low 40s. And considering that he won by a hairline, it's not going to be by a hair. I mean, it's kind of like a line, but anyways, regardless, I mean, the point cannot be overstated. He is probably going to lose the Rust Belt, and even in a scenario where he needs to win the Rust Belt, he probably won't carry it. In this scenario, you probably know how this one is going to end, with Trump winning the remaining toss-up states, but regardless, I don't think he'll carry the Rust Belt at this point in time. He did have a shot at Wisconsin, he did have a shot at Pennsylvania, but these states are slowly turning away from him, and especially since the state didn't vote for him by around 9% like a state like Ohio did, In Ohio, he does have voters to lose. Like, he can afford to lose them. But in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan, these states all voted for Donald Trump by less than 2%. And in Michigan and Pennsylvania, less than 1%. So, he's already losing a number of voters, and that 44,000 margin is slowly narrowing down, and Donald Trump's probably not going to get them back unless he does something drastic with his campaign and he brings them back on board with him. But then again, anything's possible with this president. He'll probably do it if we have a bad Democratic candidate on the Democratic side. So first of all, Donald Trump will probably carry New Hampshire and Nevada in this scenario because first of all, in Nevada, Hillary Clinton won by less than 3%, and it probably would go to President Trump if he does keep his promises. I'll probably make a video about that pretty soon, considering I had one before. But if Donald Trump is able to keep his promises, he will probably carry Nevada. This state narrowly voted for Hillary Clinton and showing a little bit more Republican tendencies. It's trending a little bit more red. The approval rating of the president is higher here than it is in the Rust Belt, including New Hampshire. And that's not good news for Democrats because, sure, they're winning back the Rust Belt, but if they lose Nevada and New Hampshire, the Democratic stronghold that was there for Hillary Clinton, even though she didn't have it in the Rust Belt, if you win back the Rust Belt, you can still lose the election. Donald Trump just needs to carry Nevada and New Hampshire, as he's doing in this scenario. And this is probably the most likely scenario, considering that the Rust Belt has really drawn away from the president, and states like New Hampshire and Nevada have drawn a little bit more closer, just based off approval rating polls, based off how just the tendencies of these states and how they've voted from 2008 to 2012 leading up to 2016, all trending more red. And I understand that the Rust Belt's trending a little bit more red, but again, this is the most likeliest scenario, and he's probably not in the favor to win the Rust Belt, especially with certain Democrats on the Democratic side. So Donald Trump's likely scenario gives him 270 electoral votes to the Democrats' 268. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.